The latest on the immigration battle affecting families in Connecticut.
Yeah, President Trump is blaming loopholes in immigration policy for causing undocumented immigrants to be separated from their children. News 8's George Colley following this story. He is live tonight with the very latest. George.
Well, good evening. President Trump continues to blame congressional Democrats for the increase in immigrant children being separated from their parents. But meanwhile, even more Republicans are now joining the chorus of Democrats in urging the Trump administration to end the policy. Pictures from the largest federal immigrant detention facility in the U.S. show men, women, and children locked behind cages. As the news site ProPublica releases audio of upset children crying for their parents. One of those parents separated from her 3-year-old child is Jessica from Guatemala. She spoke exclusively with News 8 last week, the day of her arrival in Connecticut. She says she was separated from her daughter for 3 days after being taken into custody after illegally crossing the U.S.-Mexican border. She says the conditions they were living in were cold and dirty.
It was horrible because one asks a question and no one responds. They told me that she would be in a better place, that if I love my daughter, why would I want her to be under the same conditions that I was in? And they're lies, because she was probably in a worse place.
Several Republican lawmakers are joining their Democratic colleagues, as well as First Lady Melania Trump and other former First Ladies, in calling for an end to the Trump administration's zero-tolerance immigration policy that's led to thousands of children being separated from their parents.
I think Melania got it right. My advice to the president is listen to Melania.
President Trump, if you're truly ashamed of what's happening at the border, get your team together and undo this policy. But if you don't want to change the policy, you need to take responsibility and own up to it.
President Trump is doubling down on his assertions that Senator Schumer and congressional Democrats are to blame for immigrant children being separated from their parents.
As a result of these loopholes, roughly 500,000 illegal immigrant family units and minors from Central America have been released into the United States since 2014 at unbelievably great taxpayer expense.
Legislation is being considered in Congress that would end the policy of separating parents and children. Now, as for that woman, Jessica, who we spoke with last week, she says that she escaped Guatemala because she was receiving death threats from gang members. Now, she has an immigration hearing this week, meeting where she will find out if she is granted asylum and can stay here in the U.S. George Colley, News 8.